Hi there, these comments are for SM, and I am Michael, the founder, owner, and the materials writer for all of your lessons at the 7-step system to pass a TOEFL IBT. And listening to your pretest right now, I just finished part A. This is what I want to comment on first, and then I will listen to you answer these 3 questions in part B, and I will comment as is appropriate. Okay, first of all, in part A, here's what you want to focus on the most. Lesson number 8, especially the pot, mop, talk, mock. You tend to say mock, talk, mop, but it's mop, talk. Also, lesson number 10, you're not making the A long enough. Gate, get, mate, met. Lesson number 11, these 2 vowel sounds are hard for you. Lesson number 12, these 3 vowels, the U vowel sound. Also, lesson number 15, focus on the glottal stop. These sounds: Batman, bitten, important, brightening, hat rack, threatened. Also, lesson number 16, especially measure, Fraser, lesion. Also, lesson number 19, lesson 23, and also lesson number 24. So those are the specific lessons you should be practicing right now. I recommend you go through all of my pronunciation videos, but focus more on the ones I just outlined in this video. Alright, so now let's go to your question. Which question is it again? So the first question is, what is your educational background and your work history? Alright.
Actually, my educational background is related to science.
Okay.
I am a pharmacist. I graduated from pharmacy college at 2001.
I would say in 2001, not at 2001. Let me make sure what you just said there.
2001. About a pharmacist, I graduated from pharmacy college at 2001.
Yeah, it will be graduated in, not at. So be careful of your word choice and especially your use of prepositions.
About my work history, I worked in my country, Egypt.
Remember, worked, not worked. But I worked in my country of Egypt.
In private pharmacy and in medical store pharmacy for 6 years. Then I traveled with my husband to another country, Oman. I worked there in a big chain pharmacy.
Now, when you say I traveled to another country, Oman, you're saying I traveled to another country, Oman, but remember, when you get to the end of your sentence, the last idea in each of your sentences, that's what we call the last thought group in that idea. Your tone needs to fall, not rise, unless it's a question. If it's a yes-no question, of course, you have rising intonation at the end. But WH questions and statements, you want to have falling intonation at the end of those sentences.
Named Muscat Pharmacy for 6 years.
Okay.
Then I traveled to the United States of America, and recently I joined to CVS Pharmacy.
I would just say I joined CVS Pharmacy. So don't end your statements with rising intonation. That's not going to help your TOEFL score. You need to end those statements with falling intonation. All right?
And actually I work now as pharmacy technician.
And pretty soon, once you get 26 on the speaking, we will now clear your TOEFL speaking credential. We can do this. Why? Because I know exactly what you're doing wrong. I can tell you what you're doing wrong. I can help you get better. That's why, right? Okay, so let's go to question 2. So why is it important for you to improve your speaking and pronunciation abilities of American English?
Definitely, it is so important for me to improve my speaking and pronunciation ability of American English.
That was good there. You said English, the end of your idea, your tone fell there. That's what you want to do. That's pretty natural.
Because many reasons. First of all, I want to pass TOEFL test. Secondly,
when you say the word pass, the P, you need to pronounce that with more air. I want to pass the TOEFL test.
To contact easily with Native American. Finally, actually I suffered more with my pronunciation and my speaking in my work.
Okay.
Sometimes some of Americans,
not Americans, but Americans. Sometimes Americans
don't understand me. So it is very important to me to improve my speaking and pronunciation ability of American English.
Yes, we can do that.
Definitely it is.
Okay, let's go down to your next question here. Okay, your final question here. What do you hope to achieve in this course? And let's see how you answered this question.
I hope to achieve a great improvement in speaking, pronunciation, reading, listening, writing. Also, I wanted to get a high score in TOEFL test.
Okay.
Also, I wanted to contact easily with Native American.
I wouldn't say I want to contact more easily. I would say I want to converse with native speakers easier or more easily. I would use the word converse there, or communicate, or interact, not contact. I think that's probably not the most appropriate word in that case.
That's it. Thank you.
You're welcome. So what do we do here? What do we do here? So you've obviously been in the United States for a long time now, but still you have not been able to improve your speaking and your pronunciation to a near native speaker level. Now, why is that exactly? Now, you can only answer that question. So what are you holding on to right now? Think about this for a minute. What am I saying? Sometimes when we live in a new country for many years, but we still speak like a non-native speaker from another country, it means that we want to identify, we're still holding on, for example, in your case, to your Egyptian heritage. Right? And that's okay. But if you want to converse with native speakers, if you want to communicate effectively with native speakers in a pharmacy environment, you really need to immerse yourself. You need to identify, become part of this culture. Now, I'm not asking you to give up your Egyptian heritage. Of course not. Egypt has a very long history. I'm sure you're very proud of it, right? So you don't have to get rid of that, but you have to add to that. So I'm asking you now to create two masks. One mask is what you put on when you're speaking to your friends or Egyptians using Arabic. The Arabic language, right? Now the other mask is you put on your United States or American mask when you're conversing with native speakers. So you need more contact right now, right? You need to have more contact. You need to be able to talk more with native speakers. Now here's one thing I want you to do. If you can do this, it's going to be very helpful. Find a native speaker, someone, and start reading the newspaper, maybe the New York Times, the Wall Street Journal. Maybe you have a pharmacy magazine you'd like to read with them. But start reading out loud with the native speaker on a day-to-day basis, and maybe read a paragraph and tell the native speaker, say, okay, I'm going to read this, and I want you to correct any of the errors that you hear. Any words I mispronounce, any sounds I don't say correctly, let me know. And start doing that about 30 minutes every day. And then when you get done reading the paragraph, without looking at the paragraph, try to re-explain to the native speaker, what you just read. Right? So I think that's a good step right there. So start incorporating that into your study routine, because you really need to work on sounding more like what we call a native speaker. So that's something that you can do. Okay, so now the next thing is, let's take a look at, I need to figure out your intelligibility score right now. And let's see what we have there. I'll show you what we're doing. So I'll put this link in the email that I'm sending you so you can have it. So I have an intelligibility scale. I like to give feedback to my TOEFL students as to how easy or difficult it is for them to be understood. So I'm going to score you from 1 to 7. 1 would be high beginner, 7 would be near native speaker, right? So for you, I'm going to put you at about 4.0 out of 7, right at the top of this intermediate scale here. You see that? So you can learn a little bit more about that. I put you in the 4 area here. So that's kind of where you are right now. You can read more about that. And I hope that I've given you some suggestions, some things to think about with your pronunciation. With practice, you can improve. Remember, your goal right now, is to speak English pretty much every day, all day, even with your Arabic friends if you can. You need to concentrate on using English more so you can sound more native speaker-like. So this commitment to speak English a lot and to find opportunities to interact more and to have somebody read with you 30 minutes a day every day and to help correct and monitor your pronunciation. This is all going to help you to develop a higher level of speaking and pronunciation proficiency. Okay? All right, thank you.